TC here. I wanted to talk to you today about Paz49 and his increasingly disturbing attitude towards Narinder Kaur. It seems that Paz has reached his limit with Narinda and has actually called on Met Police to arrest her because she's inciting hatred against white people and he's scared. I've noticed his preoccupation with Narinda in the past, and I thought it might be worth looking into this. Now, this isn't about the content of the posts. I'm not saying I think Narinda is right, but I do believe she has the right to her opinion and the right to voice that opinion without being harassed. You can see here the earliest tweets that I could find were from last April, and last year he wasn't that active as far as I could tell. But unfortunately, these people do use nasty nicknames for their victims to avoid detection, and if you aren't in the club, you might not catch it. And apparently, Paz was feeling pretty good about himself because the account went down temporarily, which he found rather amusing. But the account resumes, and so does Paz. Now, there are a couple of tweets here from when Lawrence Fox posted that picture of Narinda. If you don't know about this, I gather it was a photo from the 90s of her getting out of a taxi. And at the time, it was all the rage, if the young lady was in a dress or a skirt, for the photographer to be angled so that you'd see their knickers, or in this case, lack of knickers. That particularly nasty post about her mini-moo, you can probably notice by the timestamp, I screenshot that one at the time, just gobsmacked that he would be that gross. That post is actually no longer on his feed. Paz has removed it. In fact, he removed a lot of his nastier posts because he was reported to prevent. It wasn't just Paz. A couple of other notable YouTubers cleaned up their ex-feeds, and those are stories we will cover on another day. So if you're interested, you may wish to subscribe or pop by here every now and then to check in. It seems that Narinda can't say anything without Paz jumping on it, even going to the lengths of screenshotting her posts to make a point. Anytime she's on telly or has an interview, he's got something to say. Things start heating up here because we're approaching the election. And honestly, I doff my cap to Paz because he was so busy constantly posting propaganda for Reform UK at this point that I'm amazed he had the time and energy to also continue to troll this woman. As we keep going, he's getting more angry, more personal. The vitriol is amazing. The lengths he'll go to just fill as many insults as he can into one post. I do wonder if Paz isn't jealous, actually. He's only got YouTube and X. But Narinda has a platform on GB News, Talk TV, even the radio. And it's clear that, like so many of these trolls, Paz believes only he should be heard. He knows the truth, and not only is this person not white, she's female, so for Paz it's a double whammy. He's done 3 YouTube videos about Narinda, and here's the first. With these videos, the transcripts are shown, so you know these aren't my words. You can pause and read them yourself. The video title and thumbnail will be there, just so you know I'm not making this up. This is just the evidence I've collected. So interestingly, in this one, he says, beware people on social media who constantly post on their pages that they are the victims, because more often than not, they're the perpetrators, and they're using you as weapons to bash other social media users. And I can't help but envision a pot and a kettle here. He says she allowed a massive pile-on Lawrence Fox, but I'm sure he'd be quite happy for his subscribers to go and attack Narinda in his name. Aren't you? He even accused her of being a paid agitator. On to the next video now. Paz has decided that a real victim keeps a dignified silence, and he's not happy with Narinda because the photo was taken years ago. Obviously, it was existing in the ether of the internet in that time, and she wasn't bothered. And I think, well, no, I don't imagine she was bothered, because who would see it? It's only once it's unearthed and reposted to a very public forum that she was upset. And he wants to know, why wasn't she upset then? Well, in the 90s, that photo had been printed physically in a magazine that you paid money to buy. And as the saying goes, today's news is tomorrow's chip paper. But now it's available all over the world for free. Everyone can share it. And these aren't kids in a playground with a naughty mag. They're grown men, with all the threats of violence that goes with that. And I can only imagine the awful things she's had said to her over this matter. And the last one here, again, he's accusing Narinda of being a professional race baiter because she's not too happy with Tommy Robinson, who Paz seems to hero worship. He thinks she shouldn't be able to say that Robinson's rally had a few token black people in attendance, when I think it's pretty well known that this is the case. They always invite a few black guys so people can't say they're racist. I think it's more a case of the enemy of my enemy is my friend for these people, and once they've got rid of all the Muslims, they'd go back to targeting black people. And so we come full circle to Paz wanting to report Narinda for a hate crime. Now, I know something like 15 tweets and 3 videos may not seem like much, though like I say, there were more that have been deleted. That's still a post every couple of weeks this year, and to me that feels like a sustained hate campaign. Is white privilege playing a part here? Is male privilege playing a part? Because going back, he says people like Narinda Kaur, Dr. Shola, and Yasmin Alibi Brown. I'm sorry, I'm mucking up all the pronunciation. But you notice, they all have 2 things in common. They aren't Caucasian, and they aren't men. I'm not saying Paz doesn't call men racist. You can go on his X profile and search the word racist, and he does call a few men. Although none of them that I saw were white, I might add. But in terms of YouTube, of weaponising your subscribers, accusing people of being professional race baiters, Paz seems to only reserve these titles for women. It's just something to think about. Thanks for watching, and hopefully I'll see you guys soon.